This is not a company with a production problem. This is a company with a demand problem. That is our guy, Gordon Johnson, once again shouting from the rooftops that Tesla has a demand problem, not a production problem, despite the actual data showing they cannot make the cars fast enough. This guy cannot be that stupid, can he? Well, I'll give you the answer to that question, but more importantly, why it's critically important for you to understand why he does this so you do not make a mistake that can cost you big money. And guess what? This same trap applies to Tesla bull commenters too, and that can be even more dangerous than Gordon is. So we'll talk about all that, and all I ask for in return is that you ever so gently, or not gently, or smash or do whatever the heck you want to the like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you don't know, we have no sponsors on this channel, so sign up for the private group instead and receive 2 free courses, soon to be 3, my watch list with price targets, buy and sell alerts, live Q&As, private Discord with a ton of awesome people talking all things stocks, and you get direct access to me to ask me anything you want. There's still some spots on sale for you to lock in that price forever, and if you don't like it, you can basically take $600 worth of courses and then cancel, and you basically get a 96% discount on the courses. All right, so let's talk about our favorite, Mr. Gordon Johnson. Now, before we even start, don't go blasting me down in the comments till you hear me out all the way through. Gordon Johnson is a very intelligent man. And no, I'm not kidding at all. You do not get to where he has gotten in his career, bad Tesla takes aside, by being a complete dummy. But why would he continue to give such a ridiculous take on Tesla if he's so intelligent? Well, I'll give you 2 reasons why he continues to do it, and you will then see why it makes perfect sense for him to do it. And then we're going to talk about why this happens all the time, even among the bulls, so you do not make a lethal investing mistake when the scenario is not so obvious to see through because it's positive or it, is what you want to have happen with Tesla stock. But first, we need a little bit of context and a little bit of a timeline so that way this all makes sense. So let's go over that quickly. Gordon started his crazy Tesla takes way back in 2013, or at least that's as far back as I could find it. And here's a little sampling of his take from back then. I think Tesla's a $50 stock, he said. Essentially, people are valuing this car, again, on a Gen 3 model for which there is no prototype. Tesla cars cost about $80,000 to $90,000 right now. They're using essentially laptop batteries. They're packaging Panasonic laptop batteries into these car batteries, which are effectively the bulk of the cost. Those batteries have been scaled up. How are they going to get more cost out of that? I don't know. Now, in fairness, he was one of many voices saying that back then. Tesla's execution was poor at best, and Elon was talking about a future without a roadmap at that time. Obviously, Elon knew exactly what he was doing, but at the time there was very few, if anyone, who were in line with that vision. And Gordon continued that rhetoric in the following years as Tesla suffered through the Model 3 production disaster, almost going bankrupt, and at one point Elon reached out to Apple to meet about selling the company to Apple. And Gordon was even more bearish than others, but most of Wall Street was still bearish on Tesla, not just the short sellers, but most people in general. And by 2019, Gordon had crafted a name for himself as the biggest, most outlandish Tesla bear. Now keep in mind, he's an analyst, not a short seller like Thanos and guys like him. And it's very hard to make a name for yourself as just an analyst, so credit to him for breaking out from the super crowded field of analyst. However, this all came at a huge price. I mean, seriously, he was fired for his bearish takes on Tesla, costing investors millions of dollars. He started his own research firm, GLJ Research. Now he's not just an analyst, but the founder and CEO of a company. So now that we're all caught up, this takes us to the 2 ridiculous reasons why he's an over-the-top bear. Now, what does every new company need? To get its name out there, right? Everybody needs to know who you are. And what better way to get your name and new company out there than going against the grain of the hottest stock ending 2019 and carrying on into 2020. I mean, we all know Tesla was tearing it up, and he was on any show he could get on giving crazier and crazier Tesla takes just as Tesla was turning a profit and rapidly expanding both the top and the bottom line, and production and everything was just going crazy. But I hear it now. Aren't the TV shows smart enough to know he is just blowing smoke? Of course they are. But a TV show's first priority is ratings, and Gordon, whether we like it or not, moves the needle. I bet when CNBC has him on and then they run an article or YouTube video showing clips, it does better than the more reasonable takes on Tesla. They're basically giving us more of what we click on. That is how the media works. Now, why would Gordon want to go on TV and make a ridiculous fool of himself with his crazy takes on Tesla? Doesn't that actually hurt his research firm? I mean, he does have like a no-star rating or something like that. Great question, and that leads me to the second reason why he does this. He attracts a certain section of investors who just don't like Tesla. As much as we all love Tesla, there's a large contingent on Wall Street and overall who still do not like Tesla and probably never will. I still see it in the comments section on every Tesla video. There are some who think Tesla will be back down to $100 soon and it's just grossly overvalued. So he appeals strongly, whether we like it or not, to a large pool of investors. And I don't think any of us would deny that Tesla is absolutely a love it or hate it kind of stock. Either you're on or you're off. There is no middle ground with Tesla. Furthermore, those investors pay a lot for the research that fits their investing beliefs, just like the opposite crowd spends their time and money on research that fits theirs. So think about it like this. He has made a name for himself and his company. He is featured every time Tesla does something good or bad or just makes headlines in general, which we could all agree on that no stock does this more than Tesla, and he's probably making a fortune compared to what he made as an analyst before getting fired. Now with that perspective, it's a little bit easier to understand why he says what he says and does what he does. But this does not just apply to bears like Gordon, but with bulls as well, not only with Tesla, but with many other stocks. And that is where the bigger danger lies for you and I. All these people are not just giving their takes on TV based purely on where they think the stock is going. They all have a financial incentive when giving hot takes, both good and bad. And I agree, not everybody on YouTube is doing it like that. But you see a lot of channels blow up big by giving overly bullish takes on stocks. Not every stock can go to the moon, guys. The point in all this is that there usually is more than just a total belief in a stock when somebody is giving a take on a stock, and it's usually not nearly as obvious as it is with Gordon Johnson. So if most or all the information is tainted in some way, how the heck do you know what to believe? Well, this is exactly why we have been preaching over and over again in the private group about learning to do real valuation and having your individual plan laid out. Gone are the days of just YOLOing the next hot stock and 5xing your money no matter what you choose. Last year, valuations and having a plan didn't matter at all. Just buy anything and you look like a genius. This year, and even more so next year, valuations and planning will be critical to your investing. You need to know how to do your own valuation on a stock that matches your goals, your needs, and doesn't have any motives other than your own. Don't know how to plan, value a company, or any of that stuff? Google it. Watch YouTube videos on it. Take a course. I have a course in the private group that covers it. Take a college course, read a book. Do something and invest that time and effort. The right stock for Meet Kevin or Gordon Johnson or myself is not necessarily the right stock for you. The best price to buy Tesla at is different depending upon your time horizon, goals, income. Are you swing trading? What kind of trading are you doing? Are you retiring in 6 months or 20 years? Your risk tolerance, and a whole bunch of other factors like that. Now, can you learn from Meet Kevin or Solving the Money Problem or even Gordon Johnson? Absolutely you can. But I just take out the nuggets that make sense with my plan, my valuation, and my goals, so I do not end up being scared to buy Tesla, and I also don't overpay for Tesla. I know some might say it's impossible to overpay for Tesla. Well, I'd say ask someone who paid almost $900 in January and then saw it drop into 500s a short time later if they feel like they should have not bought the hype train and overpaid. So hopefully this opened your eyes to why Gordon Johnson says what he says, and why thinking for yourself in the end is the only way to ensure your goals are met. And if you don't know how to value a company, set goals, or do anything we talked about today, consider joining the private group. Remember, you get $600 in free courses covering everything we talked about today, and also how to create an infinite money loop, which you know is pretty cool. And you can also see everything I do, my price targets, my buy and sells, and ask me anything you want basically. So you get a 96% discount on the courses, and you get all those other benefits too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.